Boys, it's happening. Bad Business is going to be adding slug rounds to shotguns. Now, I was told that it's only going to be shotgun specific, so only some shotguns in the game will have this option. We're going to talk about this. The gameplay that you guys are watching in the background is Phantom Forces, but I'm using slug rounds. If you see me kill people far away, it's all slug rounds. I want you guys to get an idea of how this shell works on shotguns. I want you guys to leave your comments down below about everything that I talk about and your opinions on slug rounds, because developers will be reading the comments. They will be. Well, make sure you guys, if you guys have opinions on this, if you guys agree with this, it doesn't matter what opinion you have on this. If you agree with it, put your opinion. When I make videos like this, I am happy to actually read your guys' comments, regardless if it's against my opinions or if it's agreeing with my opinions. I don't care. Put them down below in the comments. So Ethan said that he doesn't plan to balance slug rounds for competitive play at all. And that's not my issue with slug rounds. I don't care about competitive play. I don't play competitive. But basically what he's saying is that it's going to work like a DMR. And the thing with slug rounds, and the reason why it's such an issue, is because it's either a useless attachment or it's an overpowered attachment. There is no middle ground. If you try to make a middle ground, it's useless. And why would you add an attachment to shotguns? That makes it useless. There's so many other different shell options that you could put in the game that would make it fun for some players, instead of it being annoying for players by dying by it. Now, regardless of shotgun shell options in general is obviously annoying, but I'm fine with having shell rounds in the game as long as they stay in their lane, close quarters combat. And the next topic I want to say is, why would we have a class option, right? Why would we have assault class, SMG class, LMG class, shotgun class, and sniper class? What is the point of doing that? Class specific reasons, right? They're going to stay in their own lanes. They're going to perform how they're supposed to. We just had a similar issue when it came to the SMO3, and it was a massive problem. More and more got annoying to players, massively overused. Players adapt and start to use broken stuff. So slug rounds are broken. People are going to abuse it. Just like how the katana was very broken and annoying. They are going to abuse it. It's just how the player base is. So if you give them that option, they're going to abuse it. It's going to be annoying. Why would you give a class an option to turn into a DMR or even a sniper when it's a shotgun? Something that's supposed to be dominant in close quarters combat, right? That should be its main goal, is to dominate close quarters combat. And the reason why this is such a big issue is, if you don't realize, players are obviously going to be running around with their new shell options dominating close quarters, and the second you start to counter them, like you do with most people in the game when they use certain guns, somebody's using a shotgun pistol, for example, you slow down, you back up, and you try to make them run towards you instead of you running into them by accident by playing fast pace, right? And the second you try to counter those shotgunners, they're going to be like, okay, now he's sitting back, let me throw slugs on my shotgun. And now you're being shot by a long distance shotgun. This shouldn't be the case ever. There are so many different shell options that you have. I'll even list a couple right off the top of my head. You have birdshot, you have flechette rounds, you have buckshot, you have two shot, which is a steel round, you have 5-shot. I think they even have a thing called 4-shot. You have the 12 gauge rounds, which you can make a little bit bigger and add more gunpowder, and stuff like that. There is so many different options. There's even more than what I just listed off. You could even put the rubber pellets in. You could even put the defensive bags. I forget what they call them, but you can even put that in. It'll be a lot more entertaining than slug rounds. Literally, it'll be more entertaining than slug rounds. And let me just go ahead and explain to you what happened with Phantom Forces and why this is also another big issue, and why I'm scared of this happening. Is it turned the community very toxic. And I'm not just saying by everybody using them. It's just more people use the slug rounds, and then even more people would use it, and it caused such a big uprising in their Discord, and it turned the community toxic against the developers, and developers toxic against the community, and it just turned into this back and forth thing, and it was really bad. And Bad Business kind of already had this, nowhere near Phantom Forces level, but when it came to their weapons like G36 and some other weapons in the game, but it happens every time. And I know for a fact that developers are aware of this. People always go in there and say something's broken, right? But imagine how much worse it would be with a shotgun sniping you across the map. Just imagine it, dude. Here's the thing. Shotguns should be its own thing. Dominate close quarters. You want to snipe somebody in the head, want to get a long range kill, you use a sniper. If you want to do medium range combat, close quarters combat, and sometimes just a little bit further in medium range, use a submachine gun. If you want a all-around play style but slower, Use the assault rifle class. Like each class category has their own advantages and disadvantages, but you're giving some shotguns in the game advantages all around the board. No matter what range it is, no matter how close quarter it is, you're giving them an advantage in every scenario. Obviously, you can't change mid-game, but they can change every single map. If it's a map that's longer distance or somewhere they can hold down an angle, they're going to switch over to slug rounds. And regardless of it doing a lot of damage to the head or not, it is still going to be doing massive damage from long range as a shotgun. Shotguns. Close quarters combat. They should dominate close quarters combat. That's all I have to say about this topic. I do want to talk to the people that watch me every day for bad business content and support my bad business content. I do want to mention that if slug rounds are annoying in any way, I am not sticking around in this game. I'm not going through the same scenario I went with Phantom Forces. I'm not repeating it. If any way that the slug rounds ruining my enjoyment of bad business, I'm not going to force myself to play this game. It's just not going to happen. I'm not repeating Phantom Forces. Now, we don't know when slug rounds are going to be releasing or when all this is going to be dropping. It could be months from now. It could be literally next Friday. We don't know. We don't have a release date. I don't have a release date. We don't know when this is happening. So hopefully they do a lot of, adjusting to it. And in my opinion, if it's not broken, the slug rounds, they're not doing what slug rounds should do. There's no point in having it in the game. Why waste an attachment when you could put something fun in the game for people to mess around with? So I just wanted to let you guys know that if this does end up being a massive problem, I want to let you guys know that I will not be playing the game. For you guys asking what game I'm going to be playing, I have plenty of other options that I have, and there's plenty of other games I've been wanting to make videos on as well. So we'll figure something out. So hopefully when this does release, it's not a massive problem. But yeah, I'm going to go. Thank you guys so much for the support. Peace out.